That's right, Meredith. We do have Ron Mooney. He is the man with the plan, and he knows where to take you to make you feel like you know Vail intimately. And Ron, you guys offer these tours on a weekly basis. You're going to do so through the month of September, too.
Right. We offer them every Tuesday and Thursday, starting at 11 o'clock, right up from the museum. You can come a little bit early. I always suggest people look around the museum a little bit just to get an idea. And then it goes for about, it says an hour, but I can't keep my tour to an hour. It's always an hour 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes. And then we end up right back at the museum, and they get a discount in the gift shop, and I stick around and they can answer questions if they have any more.
Well, and you know what? Vail has a short yet impressive history. It's been around, but we celebrated the 60th anniversary. And what's cool about this is we didn't start out as a mining town like Aspen or Breckenridge. None of these buildings were here. This covered bridge was not here. So we want to let people know.
Sheep were here, and cattle were here, and lettuce was here, and potatoes were here.
Yes. So there's several different industries. There was a mining industry, and then a lot of those people went to lettuce, but it was a lot of that 10th Mountain Division influence. Yes. You've got the hat and everything that really started Vail, the founders of Vail. You know, Pete Seiberg, Earl Eaton, Pete was in the 10th Mountain Division.
Right, Pete was, and the 10th really is such a foundation for Vail, but not just Vail, for the whole outdoor recreation industry.
Yeah.
They practically, you know, one of the books we have in the museum say they endowed the entire outdoor recreation industry when they came back. And there's so many connections between, you know, our history of Vail, like you said, is only 60 years, but there's so many layers of it. And that's because of the 10th Mountain Division, who have been here before, and they came back here. And, you know, Pete Seiberg's dream, ever since he was a little kid, was to have his own ski resort. And Vail was the culmination of his dream.
Yeah, you think about it, he grew up on the East Coast, he, was in the 10th Mountain Division. He studied over in Europe. Afterwards, he kind of, worked in the hotel business to kind of get that European feeling.
Exactly, because he realized that he knew skiing, but he had no idea how to run a resort. So he went to Lausanne, Switzerland, and enrolled in the best hospitality university in the world, so he could learn hospitality and how to do this.
Okay, and then some other people, we're walking right by Gorsuch and Pepe's, the Grauenshamers. We've got a lot of other people involved that maybe were not in the 10th Mountain Division, but they knew skiing or they knew hospitality, or in Pepe's case, he knew both.
Well, they love skiing. They love the mountains. And Vail, I always try to emphasize how different Vail was back in the early 60s, 1962 when it opened.
I think this was still kind of a dirt road.
You'd walk up from what the parking structure is now, a dirt parking lot, up a dirt road. Hopefully it had some snow on it. And you'd walk right up to the gondola, where pretty much in the same spot. But those early days, every other ski resort, like you said, were in old crusty mining towns. And here was Vail.
Yeah.
So every other town was in black and white, and Vail was in color.
Oh, yeah.
And that was just at a time when the world was changing from the late 50s to the early 60s, from black and white to color. And Vail caught that wave.
Yeah. Well, so you got does your script change each week? I'm sure
it changes every tour. Depends who's on it. It's for it. I always say it like locals come up like I have no idea, and then tourists who really don't know anything have no idea. And it depends who's on the tour. Sometimes the last tour I gave, every one of them was familiar with Vail in some way. So that gave me an opportunity not to have to talk about stuff that we all know already. So that tour was different. Other times it's first timers that don't know anything about it. I say, who knows anything about the 10th? And nobody raises their hand.
Yeah.
So that requires, that's why the tours sometimes go on an hour and a half or 2 hours.
You give the background and everything too. And and then you allow time for Q&A. So we've got that as well. So it's just so cool. So it's free for us, right?
It is a $5 donation.
Oh, okay, great.
But that's we're flexible about that, it's I volunteer doing this, and the museum really encourages just the history. Like I said, that history is only 60 years, but yet there's so much to tell.
There's so much to tell. All right, well, if you want to be a part of it, it's going on this morning, 11
Yes,
a.m.
11 a.m. this morning. We'll be giving it all through September up till Tuesday, September 27th. Will be our last tour, and then we'll take a little break for the fall, and we'll be back the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, which is November 29th.
Okay, well, Ron's got the information, and if you've got an extra time, ask him about Olympic history, because he's got all that too. But he's a great resource to our valley. So thank you so much for your time and
Thank you.
the little stroll up Root Street this morning.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Meredith, back